Word problems. So we've talked about word problems where we have a goal amount or a total or an all together, and we put that on one side of our equation. And on the other side of the equation, we build into that how did we get that? So what things did we put together to come up with our total? Today we're going to look at word problems where we're comparing. So instead of having a total or an altogether amount on one side, we have two things and we're comparing them to each other. For what we're working on right now, we're going to look at when will these two things be equal to each other. So either we know they're equal to each other and we're trying to find a missing variable, or we want to find out at what point in time will those things actually be equal to each other. And we're going to look at a problem coming at from the geometry perspective of this. So we've looked at geometry problems, we've looked at real world problems. We're going to look at both of those as far as comparing also, but we're just going to look at a geometry problem for right now. We'll get into the real world stuff in class. All right, so find the perimeter of the regular polygon. So we're looking for the perimeter. So I want to finish with what is the distance all the way around the outside. All sides of a regular polygon are equal. So I have a shape here that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 sides, and the regular polygon piece of that tells me that one side of the polygon is equal to the length of any of the other sides of that polygon. So regular polygon simply means that every side is equal to every other side. And they give us an expression for two of those sides. So they tell us this side at the bottom is equal to 3x plus 21, and they tell us that this side in the upper right here is 4x minus 1. So since we know in a regular polygon that every side is equal to every other side, I know that I can compare these two sides to each other because they are equal to each other. Well, how is that helpful? In this case, I can figure out what x is worth and then come back and figure out the measurement of each side. So I'm going to take one of the sides, and we call that 4x minus 1. I'm going to take a second side, this other side that they talked to us about, that is 3x plus 21, and I'm going to put them on opposite sides of my equation and set them equal to each other. So it's not a matter of adding these two together and knowing what their total is. They don't give us a total amount. They tell us that the two are equal to each other. So my equation is going to have those two sides equal to each other. So the tricky part here is figuring out, well, is this an equation where I have a total or an altogether amount? We were looking at the degrees inside of a polygon. We were looking at them telling us what the total perimeter was. That's not what's happening here. They didn't give us a total or altogether. Here, they gave us two sides and told us they were equal to each other. So writing the equation from here, we're just practicing our solving equations with variables on both sides. So what does that look like? Well, I'm going to focus on my plaid again. So parentheses, no parentheses. Like terms. On the left, I don't have like terms. On the right, I don't have like terms, so I can move on. I'm going to go to add and subtract to isolate the variable, and I always want to start by looking at the variable first. So I have a 4x on the left, 3x on the right. I'm going to try to put those together. I like to get rid of the smaller one, so it leaves me with a positive coefficient. So I'm going to subtract 3x. That gives me x minus 1 on my left, and just leaves me with 21 on the right. So from here, I'm going to add 1 to both sides, and I get x equals 22. Again, going back to the equation, find the perimeter. 22 is not the length of any of the sides. 22 is what I can put in here for x. So I'm going to go into each of those sides, and I'm going to figure out the measure of each side if x is 22. So here's my 4x minus 1. I put a 22 in there. 4 times 22 is 88, and 88 minus 1 is 87. Now, if I've done this right and 22 is the right number, I should get 87 for the measure of the other side also. So I'm going to plug 22 into 3x plus 21. So 3 times 22, that gives me 66. And 66 plus 21 gives me 87. That's what I was hoping for, a value for x that gave me a distance for each of those sides that made them equal to each other. So now I know that this side in the upper right is 87, and this side at the bottom is 87. And I know I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 8 sides altogether on this polygon. So I'm going to do 8 times 87 to find the entire perimeter, which gives me 696. A lot of steps going on there. Each one of those steps you can totally do. You know all of this. You got this. The new part here is that I'm looking at writing an equation where I'm comparing two pieces, and I'm writing an equation that has expressions on both sides that are equal to each other. I'm not writing an equation that has a total or a goal amount on one side. So our second type of word problem where I'm comparing two expressions.